has the best water. Let me know if you know something.
No, that's
You're
just
crazy.
wrong.
I had to do it to him.
Folks, let's hear it one more time for Eugene Kotlyarenko. We are lucky enough to have the man himself in the building.
Yeah, actually, can we just invite? Hey guys, thanks for coming. You know, we have met before. Now that I see. I think so. Maybe one time.
talked
At
on the
least.
phone.
Okay, yeah, your voice is beautiful to me.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Can we just get everybody who worked on the movie up here?
Yeah,
is that cool?
how many
Just,
people do we have?
Tucker and Andy and AJ. They're all there. We were
Hell
sitting.
yeah.
We were fucking cracking up. I don't know. I didn't remember it being funny. I thought it was a serious movie. Guys, come up here. Yeah. Nice people on a Sunday, you know, it's like
Hell yeah.
perfect weather, sitting inside watching grim tales of New York. Really bleak sort of tales.
Yeah, let's,
Thanks,
let's
guys.
introduce everybody.
Yeah, okay. Say your name and say your name and what you did in the movie.
AJ Del Cueto, producer and co-DP.
Yeah, that's true. Remember you like, I remember me and Sean was there in the color correct with me for Wobble. I said, we have this camera, like, we're here, and like, I'm living at this virtual reality fucking place, and like, all we need is like Andy and Keith's down, and we filmed Keith at the party already. Remember you showed up at the party? And I was like, is anybody recording this or no?
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm not gonna say the rest
Okay.
of the story. Anyway, we had to convince Sean, so you went to that guy and you got that and stuff. What's your name?
Andy Faulkner, and I played Stick.
Let's hear it for
that's
Stick,
awesome.
folks.
Let's hear it for Stick. Awesome shit. How much of the movie was like written, the dialogue? Like zero?
There's like 4 pages. I remember you had 4 pages.
Yeah. Yeah, I was living at that place and it was really homeless around there on the Empire State Building. I said, you know, this place is super retarded and all these homeless people around. What if one came in and he had a scheme, you know? Well, I didn't really know what that was gonna be, but well, we figured it out as we went along. And how many days did we shoot this, AJ? Like 4 days and then 2 days a year later? Is that right? 6 days total, yeah, 4 plus 2, yeah. And your name? Tucker. Hey Tucker, remember we talked about this morning. Say your full name.
Tucker Bennett.
Tucker Bennett, one of the
Editor.
but great director. And I was telling Tucker, yeah, and great filmmaker. I was telling Tucker, you know, you gotta go by your last name, buddy. Most of these filmmakers, you know, they don't say Federico, they say Fellini. You know what I mean? They say, oh, I like a Fellini film. You gotta let people know your last name, buddy. Bennett. Yeah.
2 N's, 2 T's.
And well, so the thing was, we didn't know what we were doing. We were making the movie, you know. And remember, there was that stupid thing. We were trying to make a movie. It was like, it's not long enough to be a movie. And I was like, we're gonna write fantasy sequences for all the characters, so we can add 10 minutes. We were editing it, and then we got into that stupid series, like pitch a web series like in New York through like, what was it called? IFP. And so then we were like, we're gonna pitch this, we're gonna fucking make a ton of money, we're gonna we already have a thing, we're not pitching for funding, we're pitching to sell it, you know. And so we re-edited it for how long did we initially work on the edit?
It was like a year.
No, it wasn't a fucking year.
No. It was like weekend.
Okay, on a weekend. Come closer if we're gonna talk about
It
the
was
edit.
like a cumulative year of doing it, but also we're gonna do. Thanks, hi buddy. We're gonna do episodics, you know.
Bro, yeah, so then the
8
thing, we're like,
minutes.
okay, we gotta stop making the movie now, we're gonna turn it into 6 episodes. And then Tucker okay, this is a cut point, and AJ, you came over, this is a cut point, this is a cut point. And meanwhile, I'm calling Andy and Dasha and stuff, being like, okay, we need voiceover. This is getting fucking boring. Well, I always wanted to do the voiceover, the crisscrossing voiceover, even when we were shooting it, but I was like, I guess it's time to finally write it. Anyway, we did the pitch for the 6 episode thing, and then no one liked it, obviously, because it's an evil thing that no one would put on their channel or whatever. And then I was kind of all right, I gotta go make Spree. I was kind of disillusioned by that IFP thing. What does that stand for? Independent feature project, film project.
Genius.
Anyway, there's all these fake independent things out there that don't actually like independent films, you know, like real movies that cost like $4,000 or whatever. So we put it away, and then I went to go make Spree, and I was also anxious, like, oh, this can't be out there while I'm trying to raise money for Spree, a real movie. I can't have this fake movie running around while I'm trying to raise money for a real movie. And then when Spree was finished, actually just like someone came over to my house, and I was like, oh, why don't I check out this thing? I hadn't seen it in a year. And they were like cracking up, and I was like, oh, this is kind of good. And then the next day I called Tucker, and we were talking about this the other day too, it's like the Rolling Thunder moment. You know, I called up Tucker and I said, hey man, remember like We Are? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, would you be down to like finish that? And what did you say?
I've been waiting for this call.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this call.
Because I'd wake up on a Saturday and be like, we could finish that movie. Like, I kind of want to do it, but does he want me to do it?
Yeah, I did. I really did. I'm glad we did, buddy. And we worked for like another week or something, right?
It was so easy. It was like done. It was like so funny.
It was
like picked it out.
It was
a movie that got picked up out of the trash can a couple of different times. Because after you shot it, you kind of just like it lay dormant for a while.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, whatever.
Well, because I had to finish Wobble. Like, we already shot it while Wobble was in post, and then that'll happen. And I was like, okay, I gotta make Spree and Dig-a-Ding. And then I was like, yeah, it's a whole fucking thing. And anyway, yeah, and then like 2 days of sound and 1 day of color, and that's it. Okay, Bobby. You can ask a question. Is that interesting? That stuff is interesting. That was kind of organic balls, yeah.
You answered most of what I was going to ask.
Go ahead, sorry, Bobby.
Specifically, watching it this time, I noticed that text that says some movies just exist, and I was curious, like, how did this exist? How did this come to exist?
The text actually says some movies just exist in the last second, the last frame, it goes must exist.
Oh.
The J turns into an M, and it says some movies must exist. So that's pretty deep. That's something about existence. We are. You know, did anybody notice the stupid painting there? It said I am. That was like actually there. Like that was part of the environment, had nothing to do with us. There was no art department. So the movie's called We Are, and then there's like just a random painting that says I am.
So
I mean, that's like
you really lived there.
Serendipitous. Yeah, I did. I helped start a VR arcade.
So was the business plan in real life?
There was
what
no.
It was
well, there wasn't like Vish running it and like spending $8,000 on quote unquote massages and stuff. I mean, that's all like made up. But the business plan was people would come and put on these masks pre-COVID and eye masks and play games. Yeah. And actually it was kind of a functional business, except then COVID actually happened and just like no one wanted to wear like a headset that someone else had worn, you know.
I'm also curious, at what point did Tucker come into the process? Because I feel like very distinct editing style.
Deaf balls. Tuck, you were there on set, buddy. Were you visiting in New York, or did you come to PA, make it?
It was a transient moment. I was like crashing at my friends' places, and then it was like sort of the last days of Facebook. And I remember just like posting on Facebook, be like, "Hey, making a movie in Midtown, and like, anybody want to help?" And I was like, "Yeah, can I be my camera?" And like, "No, we got a real camera. We got Sean.
Yeah, we got a real camera.
We got a real." And that's why because I was there, you know, just helping out. I mean, it's weird to like say like PA when the crew is like
I was the PA. I was like carrying the 24 packs of water
it was great
from CVS. I bought those nuggets, you know.
And yeah, it was a Wendy's right around the corner, and it was like really nice because they had this big like printed out thing of Manhattan skyline in it. It was like, wow, like this is real. I'm getting this coffee. I remember like getting coffee and like Louie and Shomi like pour tequila in the little like half and half things from Wendy's. You know, like put a shot of tequila in it. It's like, yeah, best time of my life. But
really the crew was just you, me, AJ, Andy when he wasn't acting, and then Vera, who was like Vish's date for one of those things, and that's it. And Jeff Cashman showed up one day to like hang out. And then just Louie and Sean. That's it, right, AJ? It's the whole crew. So it's like 6 people.
And it's only because I was there on set that I knew about it. And then like months later, I saw you and was like, "Hey, whatever happened to that?" And you're like, "Oh, I threw it in the trash. Like, I don't care."
That's not exactly true. I had asked Vera, who was like needed money under the table. I'm like, "Could you sync everything?" And then just took her like 6 months to sync everything. And then I finally got it back, and I started looking at it, and I was like, it's in the trash. I said, like, what did I say? It's in the trash?
It's like you said it will never be finished because like I don't know. You said no version. I was just like, well, let me take a crack.
Thank you for saving the movie.
Yeah, let me take a crack at it. It's like what this needs could be a radical revision, and it's a very proud moment for me because you are the most opinionated person I know, and I convinced you into some pretty wacky ass shit during this.
Yeah,
movie,
I love all the
so
wacky ass
that's,
shit.
You know, that's a big win for me.
It's a big win for everyone. Every person here has officially won because Tucker helped me crack the code on this one. Yeah, sure.
So I heard you say, Eugene, in an interview that Andy came up with the ending or wanted it to end that way. Is that true?
You wanted to fuck Keith and Dasha? Is that true? I think that's some sort of gay thing I wrote. I'm always fake putting gay things because I'm fake straight. What's up?
I mean, I actually have no recollection of that whole scene. I don't even remember being there.
Yeah, I think it's because we drugged you and stuff.
But was that always the ending in your mind?
We really were making a lot of it up as we went, kind of. I should dig up the document. I don't really remember what we thought about. But yeah, I did want an ending where, like, the whole scheme is that that's his ex-wife. He wanted to get back together with his ex-wife, played by Dasha, and so then he runs into, and now Keith's the homeless guy with the headphones and the I Love New York shirts. You see, it's a reversal. He's actually been a businessman the whole time. It was all a clever scam. It's a little bit too complex for. Yeah, go ahead.
I remember you saying that the idea for the film came up from. What was it? A movie you watched? It was like an Indian film? What? Is that right?
What are you talking about?
From like the 30s.
What are you talking? Indian film from the 30s?
Okay, I'm misremembering.
What? From the 30s? I don't know much about Indian cinema from the 30s. My knowledge kind of starts in the 50s, I would say. No, I don't. What are you talking about? Really?
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, that's where they created VR.
That's where they created VR in India? 30s India. I guess. One question from the crowd.
Yeah, let's do
30s? I'm really curious. Yeah.
I want to ask one.
The Jungle Book? Guys, let's stop that. Let's stop this line of thought. Rudyard Kipling, is that?
I want to ask one more question.
Please.
So this movie is such a, like, making a movie with your friends kind of movie. I'm wondering, coming off of this, going into Spree, was there anything you took from this movie that you brought into Spree, which is a very different kind of movie?
I think the main thing I took from this plus Spree was that I just really want to work with my friends as long as possible. And I think if you can scale up working with your friends, that's the perfect way to do it. I think making a no-budget movie with your friends is probably better than making a larger scale movie with a bunch of people who don't really understand what you're trying to do or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, there was across the street from We Are, they were shooting Miss Maisels or like
That's true.
whatever, and so they had like things shut down, and there was like Christmas. They were like doing Christmas
Fake
decorations
Christmas
and
in
stuff,
August.
and
Yeah.
there was just all these trucks and like and I was like, wow, like I was thinking with Sean, like, wow, do you think these people like are into movies? Do you think these people like care about what they're doing right now? And he's like, no.
And look at us now.
Yeah.
Miss Maisel's been seen by no one, and We Are's been seen by millions.
Yeah, 20.
And We Are's won hundreds of awards in international and even local, regional festivals and award-giving bodies. And Miss Maisel, who even knows what that is? So, I think we learned a valuable lesson here.
Let's get a couple cues from the audience. Who got a question?
No one. People are scared.
Well, some questions.
Their minds are broken. Yeah, some questions should be answered. Ask a question that, listen, this is being recorded, so if you want to get me in a lot of trouble, this is your chance. People are here from Italy. People have traveled all the way from fucking Italy to be here. So if you don't ask a question. Oh, there's one.
Whose baby was it?
That baby, that's a great question. Paternity test results are not in yet, so that child, the father of that child is a filmmaker, Sam Fleischner, who I'm friends with, who lived in Brooklyn, and we just figured we had like a day to shoot in Brooklyn, so we shot the stuff with the Echo by like in Prospect Park, and he lived by there, so all the baby stuff was done in like 2 hours. And then we went down to Brighton Beach and did all the stuff on the boardwalk. But yeah, that was Sam's kid. And I kind of felt bad for a while. I was like, should I let him see this? Because all the voiceover about the kid is like, these are all the corporations that are going to kill you. Oh, I wonder if I should drop the baby on its head. Nah, I should have aborted it when it was a fetus. Good thing you can't hear me think. But I think eventually he did see it and he liked it. He's a really cool guy. He made a movie called Stand Clear of the Closing Doors, and he runs the Rockaway Film Festival. This played at like not the official Rockaway Film Festival, it played at like a summer screening that they filled up a bar, and there were a lot of like Rockaway locals, and they were all like very confused, but I think into it. Yeah, I don't know. I like to tell myself that. Any other questions? Huh? Oh, yeah, hey, nice headphones.
How much of the We Are scene was like prepared at a time, like with the nuggets?
Well, that was like the first thing we shot, right? And then we actually reshot it.
Yeah.
You have any tales from that?
Yeah.
Well, I had just gotten off like a red-eye flight, and Eugene's like, I want you to be in this movie. He's like, I want you to play a homeless guy, which is fine. And, but you're like, okay, you're gonna give this guy I had no idea what I was playing or who I was playing, and he's like, you're gonna give this guy a speech, and you're gonna really try to like manipulate him. And I think that was about all the direction you gave.
No, I think also I said, the whole thing you're going to talk about, like, VR and we are. That was built into it.
That was maybe
VR equals we are. Like,
that was maybe the only direction you gave.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the nuggets, I guess they were there because
that was like lunch.
That was
for
food.
Somebody.
That was all our food. Yeah. That's all we ate every day, just those chicken nuggets. And then I think I was really like, oh my God, what the fuck are we doing? And I pulled you into the hallway.
You're like, you actually said, look, it's not personal, Andy, but I'm ready to play stick right now.
I said, I don't know if this is gonna work out, man. I don't know if you can do this.
And then I think
maybe I should play stick.
But
I'm glad that all my instincts were wrong.
I think it was a problem with motivation.
Right.
Yeah.
No script, no direction.
No character.
No character.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's really easy to make a movie. You just get together with your friends, make sure they're smart and seem cool enough, and then it'll just happen if you try hard enough and get lucky.